Welcome back, Star Wars fans, to another episode of the Hyperspace Database. I'm Jonesy the Mandalorian, your host of the show, here with today's topic, the Aggressor-class Star Destroyer. The Aggressor-class Destroyer was a large warship manufactured by the Zon Consortium during the reign of the Empire, and was often compared to the Imperial-class Star Destroyer in terms of size, being around 1,600 meters long, though its armament differed from the staple Imperial Star Destroyer, as its main weaponry featured two powerful linked ion plasma cannons. This main weapon combination first fired a large ion pulse that disabled a ship, then was followed with an incredibly large spiral plasma shot, which could melt through an enemy's hull with ease. It was also armed with two turbo laser batteries, one on each side of the ship, though these were only meant to supplement the main cannons, and did little against other capital ships with strong shields. The ship was also known to use this main cannon as an orbital bombardment craft, as the pulse cannon would decimate enemy ground forces. This ship was a well-armored Punisher, though because of its heavy armor, it was more cumbersome in orbital battles, and was vulnerable to quicker, smaller ships like starfighters and corvettes. Originally, the Aggressor Star Destroyer was designed by the Empire, sometime before the Battle of Yavin, but was not put into production prior to the destruction of the first Death Star, where the main plans were kept. Interesting fact, when the space station was destroyed, a small data pod survived the blast, which contained the plans to these ships, and was discovered by the mercenary Tiber Zahn. These plans were then modified to become the Aggressor-class Star Destroyer, and the first prototype of this ship became Zahn's flagship, called the Merciless, which also became the headquarters of the Zon Consortium. The Zon Consortium was an underworld crime syndicate that played both sides of the war between the Rebel Alliance and the Empire, and often fought for the highest bidder, becoming quite rich and powerful in the process, especially when Zahn's highest competitors, Jabba the Hutt and Prince Xizor, were both eliminated. Many of Tiber Zahn's adventures are chronicled in the video game Empire at War, in the Forces of Corruption expansion, which sees Tiber Zahn escape from prison and rise to prominence in his criminal empire. Zahn's personal Aggressor-class Star Destroyer, the Merciless, was a unique prototype aggressor, as it possessed a cloaking device and other mercenary equipment not found on other aggressors. The main differentiating feature of this ship, though, was in its paint scheme, which traded in the gunmetal gray for a sleek black finish with white trim, and featured the fearsome image of a crate dragon running down both sides of the hull, which made this ship pretty unmistakable. The ship was first seen around 3 years after the Battle of Yavin, when Zahn confronted the Chiss Grand Admiral Thrawn over the Imperial world of Karada, which incidentally was where Thrawn had once taught Zahn as a cadet in the Imperial Academy, before Zahn was thrown out for operating a secret smuggling ring. Thrawn attempted to raid a Sith holocron from Zahn, but Tiber expected this and brought his fleet with him to protect his assets. A fierce battle then raged, but ended when the Trandoshan bounty hunter Bossk stole the holocron and gave it to Thrawn, who retreated with the prize in the Star Destroyer Admonitor. However, this was just what Tiber wanted though, as he had placed a homing beacon on the artifact that led him to one of the Emperor's secret storehouses on Coruscant, which he plundered to increase his wealth. The Merciless was later seen after the destruction of the second Death Star, as the Zon Consortium attacked the remaining Imperial forces at the shipyards of Kuat. This was in an attempt to steal the Eclipse Super Star Destroyer, which was not yet finished at this time. Zahn was not the only one to try and steal the massive ship though, as the Rebel Alliance dispatched a section of their fleet to seize control of the shipyards at Kuat. Zahn appealed to the rebels and claimed that he wanted to destroy the ship, so the rebels fought against the Imperials, aiding the mercenaries. However, Zahn infiltrated the Eclipse and used its super laser to destroy a large part of the gathered ships, Imperial and Rebel alike. This, of course, caused the rebels to turn on the mercenary, and although Zahn was able to defeat most of the remaining ships, he still chose to abandon the massive superweapon, as it was too big of a target for the major powers in the galaxy to ignore, and he didn't want that kind of target on his back. The Aggressor-class Star Destroyer was an incredibly fearsome ship with its massive ion pulse cannon, and could inflict major damage on capital ships and other large vessels. And the Merciless in particular was an impressive display of power that played right into the hands of its mercenary owner, Tiber Zahn. Want to know more about great Star Wars topics just like this one? Stick around to the end for some secret trivia, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and the bell to be notified every time I publish a new video. Be sure to chat with me in the comments because I really want to talk to you guys. Super special shout out to my Gold Captain Patreon level supporters Nick Sutphin, Miss 2003, and Matthew Scott. Your support is so appreciated and you keep the show going. Thank you so much. Be sure to chat with me in the comments about what you thought about this episode, recommend something for the future, and just talk with me because I love hearing from you guys. You can also check out the show on social media too for more news and channel updates. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and we will see you in the next one.